Racist, white privilege, anti-racist, white fragility. You might have heard these words before, but you're probably thinking, what do they mean and what do they have to do with you? Well, let's take a look at what these words mean before we talk about how to be a better ally. White privilege. Scary. Let's talk about what it doesn't mean first. It doesn't mean you haven't struggled in your life. It just means you haven't struggled because of the color of your skin. It means that you have access to spaces and opportunities that people of color don't. And it can mean little things too, like being able to trace your ancestors back generations, or being able to find stockings and makeup in your skin tone. Want the textbook definition? White privilege is defined as the ways in which white people benefit far beyond what is commonly experienced by people of color existing in the same political, social, and economic circumstances. It's a result of colonialism and slavery, and manifests itself centuries later through systemic, deeply rooted racist policies and biases that exist in culture that are sometimes even unconscious. Now, you might have also heard the term white supremacy. That's just the system that protects white privilege. Think of it like this. You're starting a race at the same time, but you're a mile in front of your competitors at the start. Now, you might not have asked for this advantage, but by participating in the race, you're accepting that the disadvantage of others is okay. Wonder why conversations about race make you so uncomfortable? Enter white fragility. White people aren't used to being defined by their race, so hearing the term white creates discomfort. The idea of privilege in your life just doesn't resonate when you know that you've struggled. Then you might feel defensive or stressed. And if those become intolerable, you might recede from the situation, start feeling angry or guilty. You take conversations about race personally because they challenge the ideas that were taught to you that white people were innocent authority figures. But this isn't about you. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You were born white. Great. As Cecil Rhodes put it, you drew the greatest prize in the lottery of life. But what does it mean to be anti-racist and weaponize your privilege for the benefit of others? Well, first, it means making a pledge to challenge racism on an ongoing basis, not just today and tomorrow, but forever. Then, it requires that you listen to the stories and lived experiences of Black people in your life. Now, you might not be able to identify fully with their experiences, and that's okay, you're not meant to. But what's important is that even if it can't be measured or you can't fully understand the experience, that you trust it's real and valid for them. There's no neutral territory in this debate. You're either racist or anti-racist. Silence in the face of evil is just evil itself. So ask yourself some questions. How have you benefited from the whiteness in your life? Either your own or the whiteness of someone else in close proximity to you? How do you perpetuate stereotypes or racial biases that exist in culture? And in what ways are you fighting against these problems? Then, once you've decided to become an ally, it's about showing up physically, mentally, and financially on an ongoing basis. And as you grow in influence and responsibility in your workplace and everyday life, your commitment to giving time, resources, and money should grow as well. So let your guard down. Have those difficult conversations. Do what is necessary to fix the broken system. You won't be able to do it alone, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You have access to spaces that myself and people of color will never be able to enter confidently. So amplify the voices of Black people in your life. Black people work twice as hard to get half as far. We need your help to end racial injustice. Now, you're going to say or do things that are incorrect, and that's okay. But saying and doing nothing is not. You have to help us in this fight. Your privilege comes at the expense of others, so make sure that's not the case anymore.